What is up, everybody? Unrested here today with another JFAQ with a story attached to it. I'm going to actually start with the story first and then go into the JFAQ. And I want you to listen to the whole story first. Please listen to the whole thing first before you comment below, because I have a point at the end of the story that will connect you to the JFAQ that'll explain to you why I did what I did and why I said what I said. Anyway, I'm on my way to work today. I take Midasuji Line. I connect Norikaeru at Umeda and switch over to the Hankyu line, a very nice line. And while I'm doing that, there's a big rush to get to the next train. Everybody's in a rush. It's no big deal. And I'm doing the same thing. I'm not walking any faster or any slower than anyone else. I'm at my average pace. Walking along, minding my own business, I'm usually listening to a podcast while I do so. Caustic Soda Podcast, a very wonderful podcast, if any of you listen to it. Comfortably listening to that on my way, totally on time today, so no need to rush more than I need to. And headed straight over to Hankyu Line. When on my way there, I'm starting to feel this kind of like nudge, like oof, oof, to my side over and over again. I'm like, what's going on? And I'm like looking over, and the only person next to me is this like old dude. He was not looking at me, but I'm feeling him like kind of hit me, like stiff arm me, you know what I mean? Like kind of like, you're not getting any closer to me, son. Like, and there's a lot of room. 22 million people a day go through Umeda Station, so it's not like some tiny little countryside station. It's massive. Yes, it's crowded, but there's really no need to push and shove. So I'm just kind of like, well, maybe, you know what? I'm going to give this guy the benefit of the doubt. He probably doesn't even know he's doing this. Like, he doesn't know he's actually, like, hitting up. Because we're wearing big coats. It's the middle of winter. He probably doesn't even know what he's doing. So he's not looking at me or giving me a stare or looking at me in this aggressive manner. So I'm just like, whatever. I'll just head on over to my escalator that I'm headed to and not worry about this. And he's headed the same way. And he tries to, like, cut me off at this corner. Like, we're coming around the corner. And, like, he puts out his elbow, like, almost like a hockey move or something like that, and I'm just like, whoa, what's going on here? Like, is he just trying to make this turn tight or what? And I'm just like, well, whatever, he didn't hit me, so I'm not gonna get all up in arms over it. Maybe this dude's just like in more of a rush than I think. But anyway, I get on to the escalator, and in Osaka we have the moving lane and we have the sit still lane. If you try to sit still on the moving lane, people will say "torimasu," I'm coming through. You know, they're going to tell you need to move over to the sit down lane, to the not moving lane, which is fine. Like, people are just like, oh yeah, sorry, I don't know why I got in that lane. So he gets in front of me on the escalator, which is fine, and he stops in the moving lane, and I'm just like, what's this dude doing? Now, normally I would just be like, all right, well, I'm screwed. I can't go around him because he stopped in front of me. But nobody's actually in the sit still lane, so I go over to there, and then I go back in front of him and start walking my way up. Well, he starts walking up behind me, and I feel this push to my back. And I'm like, oh, no, he didn't. No, he did not just push me in the back. And then I feel it again, and so finally I fucking lose it, man. I just fucking drop my shit, turn around, and I'm like, what the fuck is your problem? And he tries, like, he acts like I'm the one being the asshole. He's all like, well, why are you butting in front of me and pushing me and stuff in front of this line? And in the middle of him trying to tell me what he thinks I'm doing, I just said, fucking no, shut the fuck up, I'll fucking kill you! Like, I just went off on this dude. Like, I just did this kind of, like, overly aggressive, overly, like, bark in your face, two dogs barking at each other, like, I will fucking destroy you if you try to outshout me. And it shut the whole thing down right away. He was just like, and he quickly, like, as soon as he got off the escalator, he, like, sprinted to his train, and just got out of there. Now, a lot of people would say, "Now, Scott, you completely overreacted. There's no need to start yelling at this old dude. You know, maybe he was just having a bad day." And you're right. He probably was having a bad day. I felt like he had the intention to start some sort of physical altercation, which I did not want to be involved in. How do I stop a physical altercation in Japan? And how can you? Well, guess what? Volume matters in Japan. And this is where our JFAQ starts to kick in. Volume matters. I think this works for a couple other countries too. If someone starts to get very aggressive with you, which is super rare in Japan, let me just say that right now. Japan is a very friendly, very polite, very nice, and very helpful country. This guy is not the run-of-the-mill. This guy is some kind of taboo, deviant, misanthropic asshole. But should you encounter such a person, Yelling helps, okay? Now, if you actually get in a physical altercation, you can end up going to jail for that. That's why I do not get into those type of things here in Japan. I do not suggest slugging, punching, hitting anybody very hard, unless it's another gaijin, and then most likely if you get into a fight with another gaijin, police aren't going to do anything about it. I have a story in the past where I was attacked somewhat on a train, and I fought back. That person was another gaijin, so that's the only exception I would say where it's okay probably to fight back. You're both going to be taken to a koban, which is a police office, and they will ask you which side wants to press charges. Good luck doing that because you're going to need a lawyer, and it's going to be hard for both of you and expensive for both of you to afford a lawyer. Usually both people can come to some sort of, I don't know what you would say, some sort of solved peace, truce, whatever. Anyway, that never happened with me. The guy who I punched ran off. But this is what I did with this guy. I don't know what his status is. I don't know who he is. I don't know what the fuck his problem was. But I didn't want to get into an altercation with him, so I just shouted him down. I feel like that's one of the safest ways where if you're going up against somebody. Now, if the dude's got like fucking ears that look like cauliflower, he's built like a brick shit house, that means he's been in a million fights. Don't shout that dude down, okay? That guy's been taking judo since he came out of his mama's belly, okay? Tell that guy, "Simasen, gomen nasai," bow to him, head on your way. Now, this guy is just some cranky old dude. I wanted him to shut the fuck up and leave me alone. I felt like that was the appropriate thing to do. Shouting someone down very quickly in Japan works. And people around you, they don't want to feel uncomfortable. This will make other people around you uncomfortable. This will make him uncomfortable that he got somebody this worked up. It looks bad for him. Yeah, it looks bad for you too, but guess what? You're gaijin. Everybody thinks you're fucking unpredictable 100% of the day. So you're not going to start stirring up any new taboos that didn't already exist about yourself. That's just a little experience of me. Now, of course, you may have other ways to solve it. I'm not saying your ways are wrong. You may speak amazing Japanese and have this, like, you know, super political way of going about, you know, this diplomatic type of, you know, well, you, sir, have done this, and I, you know, and diplomatically, my Japanese sucks. Mostly my Japanese is like street casual Japanese. I really can't speak good Keigo. And honestly, when you get angry, let me just tell you, if you shout at somebody in another language or a language that's like not your native language, you don't sound quite as angry. If you shout in your mother tongue, you sound 100 times fucking angrier because you manipulate those words in all the right ways. You have all the right inflections. You know, I know some curse words. I can tell the guy to like shine. You know, I can tell the guy like "Nani shiten no boke?" Like, what the fuck are you doing, you retard? But it just doesn't have the same oomph. Like, he doesn't know what I'm saying. That guy didn't understand a goddamn word of what you know, this is what he heard. Bark, 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 bark. Like, it's two animals yelling at each other. One backs down. So that's what I'm saying. If you want to really scare someone in another country with your own language, use your own. Don't try to use theirs, because if I would have, you know, tried to, like, imagine the same curse words, me with my American accent, I would have been like, fuck you, mister, very bad, I'm not liking you. Like, that's how I would have sounded. I know that maybe that sounds racist to you. I'm just giving you an example of how I would have sounded in Japanese. So if anything, that's making fun of gaijin, saying how dumb they sound sometimes when they try to curse someone out in Japanese. It's just an example. Don't rip my head off for it. Anyway, little experience for today. A little bit about Unrested losing his shit in the middle of his day. And a little push and shove story where I shoved back a little bit harder. Until next time, if you like what you saw here today, please like, comment, and subscribe. I am Unrested.